Alrighty then, everybody. Welcome back to the balcony scene for the second scene for the Story of Awesomeness. So, as you can see, we're back where we left off, and today we will be able to do this. And then tomorrow we're gonna be probably playing some Temtem, so that's all good to go. Alright, no further ado, let's get started, shall we? Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for this. So, yeah, as you can see, we're gonna be getting this all up and running. Let me see where I left off with this. Right there. Of course, I want to make sure that I have this on a different layer than the original one, just in case. And that is also a thing that needs to be done. All right. Now, no further ado. Let's go. A little bit zoomed in is always good. Oh, that's a little bit too thick. 3.6. There you go. Now this should be actually working quite properly. So it should be also no problem whatsoever now to get it all done. 1, 2, 3. Luckily, this one is actually going a little bit more. Oh, this actually will go a little bit more faster than with the original one. It is mainly because of how the drawing works. Because this is now much more easier to realize, like, yeah, this, that, this again, that again, this again, this again, that again. And it's most likely a repeat of the original one. But it's a little bit different, so that's always good. Luckily, we can just get it all drawn in. And after this, we can then, move on to the tiny ones, to the tiny room. But knowing my luck, I already am feeling it on my hand. I really should not do that. Because of all the detail work I'm doing right now, it's very important that we are keeping this at a low cost. So we will be definitely doing this, and then take a break, and then continue forward. So probably we be working on this tomorrow at midday. And then hopefully, once the stream comes again online, we are able to get on the drawing part of it. Or the coloring part, I mean. Not the drawing part. The drawing part will then already be done. But it's not much special, and there's nothing special about this. It's just that there is a lot of tiny detail work going on. And yeah, I'm doing my best to get it all done. Of course, I cannot get it all done in one go. That is the main problem. And the more I do this, the better it gets. Alright. Well, looks like I'm actually doing well. Did you know, by the way, that I actually went to the barber today? And, yeah. And then actually went good. Decent, even. I was thinking about, making sure that the thing I'm actually trying to get a, how do you say that? Mohawk. Well, not technically a mohawk, but the one that Elvis used to use, something like that. I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get my hair into shape like that because of a cosplay I'm trying to do, and yeah, it is getting good with that, and I'm very happy that the barber actually knows exactly what I'm talking about, and helps me get to it. So yeah, it works wonders. Only downside of it is, of course, it is a little bit tricky sometimes. There you go. All these diamonds need to be shaped. I still get not my head around why they are called diamonds in English, but alright. Normally, you should technically make them, technically we name them after horseback riders. I don't know why, but That's literally what we are talking about. Jockeys. There you go. All these tiny little things are jockeys, according to me. Well, according to the language. If you translate literally, you get jockeys instead. Because I believe jockeys are the word for reiter. Reiter, there you go. The German word for horseman, riding a horse, a reiter. So yeah, it's a jockey, and apparently the English word for it is diamond. Why would you name it even? Why would you even name it a diamond? Or what would you even name it actually than a jockey? If the shape of it is a diamond, if it is the shape of the diamonds that normally people would buy back in the day, then why would you name it after a horse? A man that rides a horse. That is a very bit strange. I think we used the word for it because of, well, translation issues probably. Because we did not have a good word for it. But then again, I can also say that that is not true. Because we did have a word for this. It's literally window. I know, right? If you look for a window, but you do it in the old way, like when you try to talk about a window, you see a ruit. Yeah, there you go. And if you have a man cleaning the window, oh well, when you have a man that cleans the window, it's a ruitenwasser. There you go. And then we also have achteruitkijkspiegel. So that's when you have a window behind you. So it's getting very confusing when using a Dutch language. It's like, why do you have this? Why is this a thing? Why? And then you try to play poker. It's like, haha, I have windows. Okay, I can see where you come with this because technically, the old cathedrals, the old back in the day when you try to make a church, the LED windows, they actually also exist with this shape. So technically they are right because technically it's also ruiten. So then comes the following question, like, why it's then called diamond instead? Why is it called diamond if there is no diamond? Because it's missing the middle section. Is that because the perception on how a diamond needs to look at is minimalized, therefore even the basic shape already gives you the feeling of a diamond? Is that then the cause that actually causes all of this to be happening? Wow, we're now actually going into deep territory on why it actually is called a fucking diamond or ruiter. Yes, choices to say the least. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see that multiple languages have different ways of looking at stuff. I must say though, the German language is quite heavily implemented here, but still though, it's so much different. The main problem is that we are using also French words, and we're using English words, we're using German words, and that is the main problem probably because we're actually using multiple languages. We even use American languages in certain types of things, like baby. Yeah, baby. So how would you think that baby would have been spelled? Well, it's gonna be the same way spelled as an English grammar. Babies, you have babies. That means that it's gonna be with an S at the end. So it's is. So it's comma is. So instead of babies, it's bais. It's like this. Bye-byes. There you go. Babies. 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 So instead of IE, it's gonna be the Greekse I. It's the Greek I. There you go. And it's a very difficult thing. Like if you go for moon, right? You have one moon and you have two moons, right? Well, the main problem here is you have moons, true. So if you have now moonshine, right? That's how you spell it in English. You have just one S, there's nothing problematic. But if you're gonna go for man, which is the real word in Dutch for a moon, then you have manen. And you have manen, so that you have manen, so that now there are multiple moons. But if you type in moonshine, then you have mane. Een. Manenschijn. Yes, with IE. So this is a very sneaky one. Because there's technically only one moon in the Earth, we don't count the when you put two words together, it's gonna be there's gonna be an e and then the sh afterwards, and that's a very difficult thing because if you would have other things like what is a good word that actually has the opposite? I need to find a very basic word, but then that's not. It's very problematic because we have so many words borrowed by other languages. Oh well, we are borrowing them from other languages. The grammar gets a little bit confusing because if it is an English word, you're going to be using the English way of doing it. If it is a French word, you're going to be using the French word of doing it. If the French or English word, if it is an English or French word and it doesn't work the way how it's supposed to be working, you're going to go with an S instead. So, for instance, a gift, a cadeau. I believe it's spelled that way. It's spelled that way, right? No. Cadeau is cadeau. No, it's with an A, right? Yeah. Cadeau. Fuck it. It's a very sneaky word. That word is annoying as sin. But yeah, gifts is it's one of those words because it's technically a French version of it. We are used to use we're actually using, instead of putting an s afterwards, we are gonna go for a comma s because it's that difficult, and I'm very confused. Why can you not use it? Because then the pronunciation will be wrong. It's like, yes, French pronunciations, my favorite kind of thing. I'm already having trouble with getting normal language done, and let's stand getting French language into it as well, intertwined. I think that's also why, actually, Dutch is one of the most hardest languages to learn, because it's such a ming-mang moose. It's such a blend of multiple languages through each other with the grammatica. The speaking part is a little bit less. It's still very difficult. Don't get me wrong. The speaking part is partially German. Technically, if you want to go for an easy way of recognizing it, it's partially German with a little bit of tainted French to it in certain regions. Then you also have Frisch, which is then also another language. And then you have the other language as well, which has been recognized right now, which is actually Limburg's, which is then the combination of French with which is a combination of French, German, and Dutch together in the lowlands. Oh, is it lowlands? It's the lowlands, yeah, lowlands. So that's even worse because if you look at it as a tourist, for instance, and you try to ask for directions, you will instantly hear the singing voice of a person giving you the right direction, which is a little bit weird. And then also, of course, because you are a tourist, you won't be able to understand it because, well, it's partially German, and you're a tourist and you're trying to ask it in English, and it's like, why the hell is he speaking German to me? Well, it's not true. But also, why is he speaking French at the same time? Yeah, that's the main problem. I went with my friends to a local. I went with my friends to a swimming pool. All right, in Germany. It was a very big one. It had like 6 slides to it, and then instantly, the moment we were talking in Dutch in that place, while waiting in the line, people were coming like, are you from Leuk? It's like, no. It's like, yes, we're not from Belgium, please, thank you. Or we also had one that was actually because the accent is very close to one of the German places somewhere in the middle of Germany, somewhere. Oh, is it? No, it's near Bavaria, right? Yeah, near Bavaria, I believe. Because that accent is such a very strange accent to come across. It also, some people think it is also Swedish. Who would have thought? Because it's so, it's difficult. It's a very like, I understand why people would recognize it like a very difficult language, definitely to understand. But because of the whole accent and then having to understand that accent, like if I can understand German pretty good, but if somebody speaks to me bloody damn Swedish, oh well, I can understand Germans. I can understand Swedish technically. Yeah, I can. And yeah, if somebody speaks to me Swedish, I can understand it partially because of if because I know how certain words are pronounced in my language, and also because we also have Frisch in the top side of the country. It is partially understandable. I was on a Danish boat towards Sweden on a hiking trip, and the moment we were arriving in in Sweden, and announcement in Swedish came, I could actually understand what the fuck was going on. I was like, huh, all right, the ship's landing this way, that way. Please bring your baggage along. Blah blah blah. Of course, it's gonna be also speak in English first, but it's it's quite recognizable when you try to focus on the words that are spoken out. Of course, it's a different matter if you want to look at the language. That's a way different part. But the speaking part, it's partially there. The the Frisch kind of accent is there, which is quite funny. I like it. So yeah, it's a close cluster of languages in the Netherlands. And don't get me started that everybody knows how to speak English. So even if you want to speak English, most people are sophisticated enough to know how English is spoken. However, they will probably speak to you with a potato language, which is quite funny. Honestly, it's one of the most funniest things accent. It's the most funniest accent ever, I would say. Greetings. Hello there. Today we're gonna have a stream about everything else. You see, it's a great way to see it all and know it all. So today we're gonna make sure that this is all good. See, it's quite understandable. It's quite hilarious if somebody speaks like that. I have a blast, by the way, when I speak like that. It's like, yes, you're using the potato language. Ah, my favorite language. I know exactly that you are from the Dutch place. What? How do you know that I'm Dutch? How do you know? How do you know? It's not how do you know? No, no, no. It's how do you know? How do you know that I'm from Dutch? It's like, well, sir, have you heard about the word of pronunciations? You're speaking like a man that has potatoes in his mouth. It's very funny. It's almost like you're an American, but then less American about it. Ah, it's lovely. I really like that accent. By the way, it's such a stupid language. It's such a stupid thing, because if you look, for instance, at the bloggers that like Dutch bloggers, and they are like, "Oh my God, you didn't do this. You didn't do this." Like, they were like going on a fitness. They were in a fitness apartment or a fitness gym. Let's put it that way. And one of the dudes said like, "Come on, you can come over here." You know, instead of coming over, instead of going towards the person, like asking to come over. You know, going over there to weight lifts. He spoke it out like, you know. It was very hilarious to see that. Oh my god, that mistake. You only do it once, by the way. Trust me. You don't say like you're not supposed to say that in a gym. Stupid like you want to use those lifts? Go ahead. Be my guest. I'm gonna be going somewhere else. Or, don't speak at all. That is technically the smartest move as a Dutch person because of the accent. Yeah, 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 probably. Probably gonna be the smartest move ever created by man. Not doing absolutely anything. Alright, now we have this. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a sneaky. We're gonna make ourselves a little bit easier to do stuff. Why is this? Because I do not want to. I do not want to do this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever again. So that's why I'm gonna be doing this. Oh my God! Look at that! I just moved them. I just moved it, and now suddenly I can draw over it again. Yes, exactly. I'm doing a big brain here. Knowing how I'm doing this is one thing. Also, as you can see, yes, it's not fully correct, true, but it gives me a little bit of a leeway on how I want to do this or how I need to do it, and keep in check where the rest is, which is the most important part, keeping in check where all the diamonds are. Still, I do not get why it's called diamonds. For all love's sake, why did you not just call it, I don't know, bacon? But then again, my definition of bacon is different than another person's definition of bacon. It's very funny, by the way. If I say bacon, I can refer to two things. I either can refer to candy, or I can refer to bacon, which is very different. But the candy bacon, speck, alright, is the same shape as this, which is quite funny. And guess what it's called? Dun dun dun! It's called Ruiter. Yeah. So there you have it again. The surprise, the myth, the legend. Yes, that's the whole point of this whole damn shenanigans. Like, I could technically say that it is not. I could technically say that it is diamond, but then again, my language does not agree with this, because there's so much that points towards like, yeah, if I would say that it's diamonds, I would have a very different image in my head. Diamonds. What do I want to see as diamonds? Well, if I want to see diamonds, I would say like big giant jewels that are like this, and then, whoop whoop whoop. Oh, look at that, beautiful diamonds. Oh, beauty to behold, with bling bling around. There you go, diamonds. That is diamonds right there. Oh, look at that, the beautiful fusion of diamonds. That is my view of diamonds. Normal person would say like, yeah, you need to paint some diamonds on it. All right. I have a card of 2 now. Dear God. So yeah. Note to self, by the way, when I want to do some role-playing, I should definitely say diamonds instead of, the normal thing, which is jockey. I have a jockey. I have 2 jockeys in my hand. Like, then the other person's like, what? What do you have in your hand? I have 2 jockeys. Okay. Well, I have a full house. Psych! I have 3 of a kind. 1 jockey, 2 jockeys, 3 jockeys. They're all the same. I do not know how card games work like that, but you get the point. It would be very funny if I would not be saying the word diamond to a person that is actually relying on the word diamond. Like, sir, you only have 2 diamonds. What? These are not diamonds. These are jockeys. How are they jockeys? And then you have the whole conversation again. Ah, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's such a silly thing to do anyway. You know, argumenting about goddamn diamonds. Amazing. Imagine that, when you're going when you're even in Minecraft, it's even better, When you're going to find diamonds, all right? You find diamonds. Diamonds are not like this, all right? Diamonds are not like this. Diamonds in Minecraft are not like that. They are, the shape that everybody knows about diamonds. The beautiful shape of diamonds, a rough diamond in the air. There you go. So yeah, knowing that is actually the thing, it's pretty confusing. Imagine if they put down diamonds, all right, instead of diamonds. Oh, in the translation, yes. If they would have put, imagine in the translation of Minecraft, they would, instead of putting diamonds in there, they would have put the word ruiten in there. That would be very confusing. Because since you're mining literally diamonds, it's supposed to be diamanten. Which, of course, don't get me wrong, that's the real word. That's the real word. That's the real word for diamonds in Dutch. Diamante. So, knowing that is the real word, then why am I calling with my cards in my hand that I do not have any diamante? Because I have no clue why that is a thing. But I have a funky feeling that it has to do with jockeys, probably. It has to do with some horsemen saying like, yeah, diamonds, diamanted, nah. We're not going to be using that word here in the card game, all right? If I want to play poker, I will go for ruiten instead. Omdat ik een yeah, because he has a horse, he likes the horse is expensive, and of course the fancy man plays cards. So, what he does, yeah, diamante. And of course he's gonna be saying, instead of diamante, he's gonna say ruiter, because, well, he's playing with some German chaps. Probably the German chaps also say ruiter. And then they will probably, instead of ruiter, they would say reiter. Yeah, there you go. So, it's, yeah. Actually, that would be actually a thing. That would be probably the main reason why it's not called diamante in my language. Because of the neighbors. And because the neighbors have highly influence on our language, all of them, by the way, the French, the Brits, and the Germans all have influences on our language. And then you have Belgium, which is a byproduct of all of this messy conversation, because Belgium is partially French, partially Belgium. Belgium, however, is close to Dutch, but is not Dutch, which makes it even more confusing for any tourists around, because they even have more strange words than I have, because I do live not near the border of Belgium. I do live near the border of Germany, and still people think that people know that I'm from the lowlands, because the lowlands was technically first actually first the connection part near Belgium, if I'm correct. It's a big boy. Then it got split, and then the Netherlands just kept some of it. Of course, we all know how that happened. We all know what happened after that. But yeah, it kept its parts, and it's quite funny, because now you actually have a very strange language in the middle of nowhere, technically, that is connected to Belgium, connected to German, connected to French, And then in the upper part of the Netherlands, you actually have a language that is connected to, well, Swedish and Danish. So, yeah, very strange. And then, of course, you have the normal Dutch. The normal, very good old-fashioned Dutch people. And, well, how are they speaking? Well, they will probably speak like they wanted to sell you a fish. That's how I always understand it. That's how I always know when I meet somebody that is not from the lowlands. They speak like they want to sell a fish. They speak like how do I do this accent properly? Ja. Nee. Hold up. Pap. Je moet een beetje harder praten. Want het gaat allemaal zo. Ja, nee. You have multiple of these. That's the fun part about the accents. I cannot do accents properly, especially Dutch accents. I always try to keep it as normal Dutch as possible. However, my normal Dutch is not normal according to normal Dutch people. Apparently, I sing. I have no idea why. And it's quite funny. It's very funny. So, yeah. But the language is literally, they try to sell you a fish on a market. And that's how they speak. It's either that or they're going to be talking about how they want to get you off your lawn. Because that's also one. The farmer language, let's put it that way. Which is near Groningen and Gelderland. Yeah, there you go. Easy words. Gelderland and Groningen. The very annoying bits, I would say, because it's very confusing to go there by train. I always get confused there. At least it's my part. It's probably my fault that I get confused, but I cannot use a yearly train subscription if I want to go there. Because, hold up right there. Imagine this. You have a train company, and then you have a separate train company that does only the lowlands. Imagine my problems when I need to switch over. Because the lowlands ends at the lowlands part. So everything else is the same train. It's the same train company, except the lowlands, which is very annoying when you try to do stuff, because it's a different train company. Therefore, your subscription won't work. Therefore, you need to pay extra, which is a pain. I did it. I actually could not afford myself a subscription because of this nonsense. When I study for my 3D modeling and 3D designing, it was a very nasty little thing, because I was like, yeah, I can buy myself a subscription, and then I don't have to deal with this whole shenanigans anymore, and it will be very cheap. And then you come to the sudden realization that it is not very cheap because of the reasons I put down before. All right, we're gonna be switching this one around again. Sweet. First things first, we're gonna save because of reasons. I do not trust this software too much. I do trust it, but not when I want to do making sure that I don't lose all my progress kind of trust. I do trust it when I try to color things up. Yeah, sure, I trust it, but this. No. This needs to be saved beforehand. Alright, transform horizontally, because I can. Alright, it's back, baby. Now it's on the other side. And now we're gonna be putting it here. Alright. Sweet. So yeah. I really like, all of this because of all of this shenanigans, all of this talk about, simple bloody damn diamonds, I guess. It opened my eyes, I finally know that if I want to play cards with people, Outside of Europe, I would definitely not play with diamonds. I will just keep it up with spades, because spades at least is the same stuff as in Dutch. Therefore, there is no problem. Of course, it is a different word, but it's the same stuff. It's not as confusing as goddamn diamonds. And then probably somebody is going to be like, haha, I have more diamonds than you. It's like, you have a 9 of diamonds, so you could technically win this one. Oh, that's a bad idea. Well, looks like I'm having some dirty laundry then instead. And then he's like, well, I believe you in your dirty laundry. You can pick up new cards and then you get a fucking 10 diamonds. And then you win the game. Because that's how good old fashioned Tupper works. Which is literally, slamming cards slamming cards on the table. That's literally the word for it. That's how it's spoken out. But it is it's a very fun card game, definitely. But also very lowlands kind of feeling towards it, because, well, you do not. A normal person would not realize that you're playing that kind of game. You would not play with dirty laundry. It's only it's actually, you can cheat with it, and then if you lose, you actually gain 2 extra points. And when the first one that reaches 7 loses, 6 loses. So yeah, it's a very hard game, very tricky one as well, because when you're at 5, everyone needs to go with you. If they don't, they take 1 point. If they do, but lose, they take 2 points. So it's either 1 point and lose automatically and don't play, or you get screwed over. So the main idea here is, of course, is that you try to rig the game in your favor, and then try to convince other people to be like, yeah, you can continue. There is nothing to worry about. Well, what are you talking about? And then you strike them when they at least suspected it. So you can knock on a table, and then everybody needs to say like, "Are you in?" And then everybody will be like, "Yes, no, yes, yes, yes." The ones that say yes will gain the ones that say yes will take an additional hit. But if they win, they don't take a hit. So it also counts for you, by the way. And that's a very fun thing, because then you can actually try to bluff somebody into oblivion, and then you won with an absolute terrible hand. As long as you keep a good poker face, you can do it. And that is the way to do it. A good poker face, try to persuade people, try to convince people to come with you or don't come with you when you have something that you don't want. And the more you swing around, the more better. And what you try to do is actually get somebody knocked out before they, of course, reaches 5. So you want them actually getting knocked out by 4 instead of 5. Therefore, you won't be as easily, you won't have as easily of a problem later on, which is quite nice. Jeez. My head is not happy about this. We're almost there, come on. Almost. Let's see. Yeah, 40 minutes. We can do this. My hand is not tired, and we're almost done. So I will push myself to the limit right now. I will give myself this moment. I'm feeling good today. I ate it well. I made myself dinner. By the way, I will not recommend this. Putting too much pepper in your food. It's not recommendable. I put a little bit too much hot pepper sauce in my food. Well, it's not technically hot pepper sauce. It was homemade pepper sauce, but it went a little bit nuts. I would have not liked. I would have, a second opinion would have been nice. But you cannot taste your food when it's cooking, boiling hot. So note to self, next time when I try to cook something as spicy as that, I need to lower the spice amount. Luckily, I did not, of course, eat it at all. I partially eat it. So I ate most of the vegetables, most of the meat, and most of the noodles. But it was a little bit too spicy. Even when I had my bloody damn milk standing near me, I still was literally gasping for air because whoa. I did not expect this to be that spicy, alright? I expected it to be a bit spicier. Yep, I did, but I did not expect that spiciness. Next time when I know that I have such a spiciness on my tail, I will definitely sweeten it up a bit because whoa, that was no fun. Also, I don't need to put that much water in it. I think the half the amount of water that I added would not have been necessary. So yeah, good stuff, by the way. Good stuff. It was great. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was just very, 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 very scary. Very scary to well, of course, do. But I learned from it. Goddamn spicy food. The first time I tried to make noodles and I tried to do it spicy, instantly fail. Imagine that. I never saw somebody do that before, right? When you try to make something, when you might make some spicy food and it's instantly goddamn evil to the max. Wait, hold up. There is something wrong here. Yes. All right, this one needs to be there. This one needs to be there as well. And this one needs to be there as well. There you go. Mine went a little bit too tiny. Which sucks, by the way. Now we can continue. Huh. Who would have thought that this would be the best option? And now I need to close it again. Alright, so now I need to close it again. There you go, now I have tiny amount of stuff again. Good. It's one of the hardest things to do, actually. Getting this structure done, this diamond structure. Of course, it's not fully diamond structure. No. It's absolutely garbage when it comes to that. But it is man-made. And one of the most important parts of being man-made structure means it has errors. As said before, because of the errors, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. Then get over here, do that one. Yes, there you go. Because I have errors in this sitting in here, I can get away with stuff, which is a very important part. Getting away with stuff is very important here. Allow me to show you why. So if I remove this one again, we now have this. Alright, we have now this bit right here. We have a decent amount. You can see there is some issues here and there through that. But there is always some issues. Oh my god, there is indeed always some issues. Jesus. Yeah, let's keep it this way anyway. Let's keep it this way. Yeah. There can always be errors. There is nothing to be worried about that. But as you can see, there are some issues here. One of the issues is that this bit right here doesn't end up with this. So I drew here a little bit too small. So allow me to fix that. And now it should work. Oop. There you go. Now that's much better. And that's how you fix it. Alright. Now I'm gonna lay down the pen on the table, gonna stretch my hands, and I'm gonna be calling it a day. Alright. That went pretty well. I hope you all have enjoyed for today. And thanks all for watching, and I hope I'll see you all next time. Until then, I want to wish you all a lovely day, and bye-bye!